It's interesting that one of the elements that are in the media in this past few days about Good Friday this year is that it's a real Good Friday because the pubs will be open longer than they would have been in the past. Now, I understand people want to celebrate. It's been a difficult 2 years for people. And yet I think the whole journey of Holy Thursday, Good Friday, right through Holy Saturday to Easter Sunday, actually is a very adult way of looking at the reality of our lives. Rather than facing the problem of the cross and pain and distress and loss and anguish and fear about the future and price rises and all those things by saying, let's have a party, and parties are lovely. But rather than just saying that, we have the image of Jesus saying, I am prepared to face the worst that the world can throw at human beings. To suffer betrayal and to suffer people rejecting him and leaving him behind, abandoning him, to suffer pain and death, and yet to come back on Easter Sunday and say, no, that cannot crush us who we are as human beings. So I think Christianity is a very earthy religion. It's about a God who takes flesh and dwells among us, the God who dies on the cross and asks us to not be afraid to face the pain of being human, because behind the cross there always lurks resurrection. So the ministry of the church is not about just providing religious-themed entertainment. It's not just about helping people to escape from reality with some sort of nice fairy tales. It actually says we want to create communities full of people who believe that they are gifted by God in different ways. Communities that will grow in faith together and that are prepared to go out and bear witness to that in the midst of all the pain of our society. Pope Francis behind me has been very strong that the whole theme of the Synod is communion, participation and mission. How can we build welcoming communities where the hurting can feel welcome? How can we ensure that in that community they can grow in faith together? And how can they then be able to go out and bring that good news to other people? We have many gifts in the church, many ministries, but the ordained ministry, those living in consecrated life in convents and monasteries, those are key elements of who we are and the ministries that we have. We have a strong sacramental tradition in the Catholic Church. We have a role for those who are seen as the ordained ministers in that church. So I think as we face the future, after COVID lockdowns, in the midst of all the awfulness of Ukraine and the struggles that we face, we need a vibrant church community with many ministries, with people who will not just do holy things in the church, but who will say, I want to be a sacrament, a visible sign of who Jesus was. I want to, in my life, sacrifice many things in order to be better used by the love of God to bring healing and hope to the world. So I invite our diocese, as we face into the future, as we seek to be resurrected after lockdown, as we face the challenges of a new time, not to be afraid of being idealistic, not being afraid of standing for the power of the cross, not being afraid to stand for the radical message of Jesus. And I invite people of all ages, and particularly young people, to say, or to think at least, is God calling me to dedicate my life to the mission of Jesus, the one who went to the cross, through the cross to resurrection? We need good news in our society. We desperately need those who will lead communities that will bring good news to their local areas. If God is calling anyone, encourage them. If God is calling you, don't be afraid to accept that call. Go further with it. This is an age where we need idealism and generosity and love and self-sacrifice. God is still calling people. He might be calling you.